This protest is all in response to a sign that was found nailed to a tree this weekend in Lawrence. That sign had a picture of George Floyd on it with a noose around his neck. Lawrence police said they actually talked to a man who claims to be the artist behind the sign, who asked if it was okay for it to be up in Lawrence, in which Lawrence police told him it was. Protesters here say they don't agree with that, and they want the man behind the sign to be punished.
Protesters have been rallying for days in downtown Lawrence. The meaning behind the protest shifted, but their passion never waned.
An unsettling depiction of George Floyd found in this park next to police headquarters drew these crowds of protesters on Saturday. Since then, their presence on Mass Street has drawn attention to a case of a local man behind bars for 5 years.
I'm here for rontarus Washington Jr. And the fact that he's set in jail 5.5 years without a trial.
In 2015, police arrested Washington, who's accused of killing his neighbor. His first murder trial ended in October 2019 with a hung jury. Over the weekend, protesters on Mass Street seeking racial justice called for the judge to reduce Washington's bond ahead of his second trial.
They demand three things: an investigation of a racist banner found in South Park. They're asking for the immediate release of rontarus Washington. He's been jailed for 5 years awaiting a Lawrence murder trial.
Your hands are tied. You don't have the power. The city commissioners don't have the power. The police don't have the power. Then who does? That's the system. That's when you hit against system. But you can do something. You can do something tomorrow. You can do something tonight. You can text somebody. You can call somebody. You can write somebody. You can research something. So whatever you have to do to get this going. He has been in jail for over 5 years without a trial. And that's more than enough time. That's more than enough punishment for something that he didn't do. It's not that we want to compromise. We want actual justice for him.
Yes.
We are at a pivotal point in the history of our nation, and Lawrence, Kansas is no exception to that. The injustices may seem small scale, insignificant to some, but let me assure you, they are not. Ripping away 6 years of someone's life is significant. Ripping away a father from his children, from his mother, from his sisters is significant. Rontarus Washington Jr. was in a cell for 6 years of his life. Rontarus deserves to be treated as significant.
As of now, these people are planning to come out and protest again tomorrow, and we will continue coverage on that.
Rontarus Washington should be free. And you seem to be under the illusion that you're not responsible for his incarceration for every day of the last 5 years, but you are.
If you want Lawrence to, be what you want it to be, a peaceful town, it's not going to be that way if everybody catches on to what's going on in our court system.
The judge eventually agreed to drop it to $500,000 with a 10% surety. Strangers showed support for Washington on GoFundMe as some in Lawrence put up their homes and businesses as collateral.
1 minute we said we need 20,000. Then it came all the way down to 600. And the boy, after we hit that 600 crowd, it erupted.
41 Action reporter Andres Gutierrez shows us how that passion got one man out on bond after spending months behind bars awaiting trial.
New tonight, a man who was in jail for more than 5 years after a hung jury murder trial has been released on bond. Rontarus Washington Jr. left the Douglas County Jail today after family and friends raised enough money for his bail through GoFundMe. Protesters in Lawrence have been marching for days demanding his release.
Moments that loved ones and supporters of Rontarus Washington Jr. didn't think would come soon enough.
And brought awareness. This has been going on for 5 years. And I'm just speechless.
Washington made it a point to stop by Mass Street with his family to say thanks in person.
The fight is not over, but this is a victory. We will not stand for injustice. He is innocent.
We will demand no other human being be treated in the way that Rontarus was treated.